It's the final day of the two-day ANC Lekgotla underway in Irene in Pretoria. The two-day Lekgotla is discussing resolutions and recommendations which will inform the State of the Nation address early next month. Before the meeting, the ANC NEC met with alliance partners COSATU and the South African Communist Party. COSATU President Maphatsoe Dlamini told ANN7 that ANC President Cyril Ramaphosa briefed them on the transition process between the government and the party.
The ANC head, who is the President Cyril Ramaphosa, President Zuma, who is the state president, have got to find a synergy of working things together. We call this a transition. That's how he calls it, managing that transition between the two institutions, the ANC being the center of power and government being fed on issues. We've been taken through that process. Of course, as the Federation, we had to ask the other questions that our COSATU's positions were phrased, but the president of the ANC explained to us on how they have decided to manage the transition.
And we are now joined by ANN7 reporter Natasha Piri, live from Irene for more on this story. Natasha, it's Buntu here in studio. I see you've been quite busy talking to quite a few people. Who have you spoken to about the latest developments surrounding this Lekgotla?
Well, very good afternoon to you, Buntu, of course, and of course to the ANN7 viewers. Indeed, we spoke to COSATU President Maphatsoe Dlamini, and now we're actually joined by Maphatsoe, who's actually pressed for time, so we'll just get right straight to it. And Tate, thank you so much for always availing yourself to ANN7. It's the second day of the Lekgotla. People are in commissions right now. I mean, your reaction generally, are you happy with what has happened as the MKVA throughout the NEC and throughout the Lekgotla thus far?
Look, the purpose of the Lekgotla, it is to deal with the resolutions of the conference on how do we implement them and turn them into program of action. What the president of the ANC said in his opening remarks yesterday was that this time around we must make sure that the resolutions that are taken are implemented, so that when the NEC comes to its the term comes to its end, they must have implemented the resolutions. And some of the resolutions are not going to wait for many years. They must be implemented as a matter of agency. So the Lekgotla is all about implementation of the resolutions, and above all, the monitoring and evaluation. And they said the monitoring and evaluation must have teeth to bite, must have a right to convene ministers and deputy ministers to come and account on the work that they're doing.
Okay. Now, yesterday we saw the former ESCOM chairperson, Zithemba Khoza, stepping down, saying that it is in the best interest of the country for him to resign as ESCOM chair. Now, Ubab Jabu Mabuz is now the new ESCOM chair. There's a new leadership. Are you happy with that? Do you also think that it's no coincidence that ever since ANC President Cyril Ramaphosa took over, things have actually started to change? He spoke out saying that he wants to rid the ANC, not only the ANC, but state-owned enterprises, private entities, of corruption.
You know, any leader who comes into a leadership, he comes with his own things, but over and above that, he makes sure that the decisions of the conference are implemented. So as MKMVA, we really want to see a prosperous South Africa, that the economy is growing, that we deal with poverty, that we renew ourselves. As the theme of the January 8th statement is that 100 years of Nelson Mandela, the year of renewal, the year of unity, and the year of creating jobs.
Now, according to source-based information, it was raised that it's time for President Jacob Zuma to step down as a state president. I mean, on the ground, what have you heard as the MKVA? What are your sentiments around this?
Look, we don't want to work on sources because we'll be analyzing wrongly. So we want to comment when that thing has happened, because the ANC does not stop anyone to comment. But as long as it is within the confines of the African National Congress. We said the ANC and the NEC is the center. So we'll wait for the NEC to take a decision.
Okay. And then last but not least, Team Davos is leaving tomorrow. What is the MKVA expecting out of their trip that side?
Look, our interest is that our economy must grow so that we can be able to deal with unemployment, so that we can be able to deal with poverty and inequalities. Just like now, we are from a press briefing as MKMVA because Treasury has cut our budget with 5%. And we had to reprioritize, just like any other government department. So going to Davos, I think we must make sure that the leadership that is going there lobbies for investment to come back to South Africa, invest, and so that our economy can grow.
Thank you so much, and thank you for your time. Let me just relieve you because you're rushing for another meeting. That was Maphatsoe of the MKVA, just taking through, some of the latest developments. Also giving his reaction, wishing Team Davos well, but also saying that it's time for South Africa to attract rather more investors.